Hey everybody, Tony from Cardboard Wars here. It is time for turn two of the American Civil War. Um, it is now September and October 1861. Before I get going, I do want to point out a couple of things, a couple of strategic errors that I made with the Confederacy that I had intended to do. For example, Price here, when Lyon only had one strength point, the Confederates had the opportunity and the command points to attack Springfield, and I never did. I got my attention diverted elsewhere. So there's a failure on my part. I should have attacked Springfield and attempted to drive Lyon out. The other thing is that with everything that was going on in the East with McDowell, I never got around to moving Johnston through Western Maryland and into Grafton, West Virginia, in order to um, prevent the state from falling into Union hands. But it is now a friendly to the Union, and it is what it is. In the future, I will try to pay a little bit closer attention before I actually make a move. So, where we stand as it is right now, Washington, D.C. has fallen to the Confederates through stupidity on my part. However, um, the Union is still in the game. So, I have already gone ahead and set up all of the leaders for the turns, all the reinforcements. Um, I have also gone through and determined their starting command points and set up their reinforcements. One thing that I found about this module is that it has some oddities when you save a game, and hopefully it didn't transfer to the map. But all of a sudden, there's all these different counters over that just appeared. Um, but whatever, it doesn't affect the game. I just moved them off and hit them. So, as the same with the last turn, the first die roll will be the Union. Second die roll will be the Confederacy. Um, the resource allocation this time around, the for the Union, the primary theater is the Eastern Theater. Secondary is the Trans Mississippi, and the tertiary will be the West until Kentucky enters play. And the Confederate is still primary in the East, secondary in the West, and Trans Mississippi is the tertiary. So, rolling for initiative, the only exception to this is going to be the attacker will always roll first and the defender will roll second, no matter which side is doing what. So, for initiative, the Union rolls an 11, and the Confederacy rolls a 7, and that is a dice difference of 4, and the Union has the initiative. Also, the blockade is starting to go into effect. Um, it is at 10% this turn, so CSA imports has been dropped from 140 to 136. So, what the Union wants to accomplish this turn is we want to get Grant and Sherman into the game as quickly as we possibly can. Um, So for right now, we're going to increase, we're going to put our free, quote unquote, free strength point in Caro, and then we're going to start drawing leaders. Like I said, we want to get Grant and Sherman in as quickly as possible. And we have 8 to choose from. And we rolled a 10, so we'll just ignore that. Roll a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we get Sedgwick that we'll put in Caro. And we'll probably end up putting all these leaders into Caro because that's where I want to get Grant at. Um, so we have 4 dice difference that we need to spend. So there's 1. And we'll just keep going with the leaders until. So there's 1, 2. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's sigil. Excuse me. That's 2. Now we're down to a 6-sided die. Here's number 3, and that's Thomas. And Thomas isn't bad. But I'm definitely going to be shuffling these leaders around. And here's the 4th one. We're going to ignore the 6. 3. 1, 2, 3. And there's Grant. So Grant is now entering the combat. Or entering the war. So now the initiative goes over to the South. And knowing, so they got 3. We've got 4 to spend, so we're going to put 2 here in the Army of Mississippi. And we're going to put 2 here in Memphis. Actually, we are going to put 1. Actually, hang on a second. Let me look at the terrain chart. Terrain effects. Swamp has costs 2. And rivers do not cost any movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they're going to spend a command point here and move 1 strength point from northeast Arkansas over to island number 10, knowing that Grant's coming. And if we get the opportunity, we're going to fortify that position. So there goes the. That is the 4 that they can spend. So rolling for initiative again. The Union gets 9. And the Confederacy rolls snake eyes. It's a dice difference of 10. Or 7, excuse me. And the Union is again going to spend their free strength point. We got 7. So we're going to spend 4 of the 7. And increase 4. So there's 4 of the 7, and actually I don't know why I did that. So we're going to have to bring that down 1. And we are going to take Grant and 6 strength points. I'm gonna go ahead and get him moving into the Trans-Mississippi. And they are going to come down and attack island number 10, where they will have a 3-1. According to the terrain chart, Pump X is 2. Column shifts to the left. And I may have needed to wait until I have some ironclad. So that's 2 column shifts to the left. So we're at 6-3. Combat charts. 6-3 is column J, which is 2-1, and then 2 column shifts is 3-4. So Grant gives a +2, so we're on the 3-4, +3 +4, column G, and the Union rolls a 3, which is modified to a 5, and they are a medium-sized force. They cause a D1, and the Confederates roll a 4, and they're a small force, and they just cause a demoralization. So island number 10 falls. 1 makes it out of... 1 escapes, and it becomes demoralized. Flip. And the Union Army is demoralized but victorious. And so begins the Mississippi campaign. But basically what I've done here is I moved Grant from the Western Theater to the Trans-Mississippi Theater, where I can actually be able to recover that force. But now he is on his way. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That leaves us with 1. What can we do with 1? Command points. Cost. Move 1 SP. Move 1 naval SP. Move a... Okay, that's what we may want to do. Let's see who we have here. We're actually going to pull 1 more leader and hope that we get Sherman. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get a 2. So that's Farragut in New Albany. But he's going to be quickly transferred down to be able to command the ironclad fleet. So that's it for the Union. So the Confederates now will spend 1 command point and move this down to Memphis. Into Memphis. Um, 5 Eastern Command points. The Confederates are actually hoping for um, a tie at some point to in order to get some more command points so that they could do more. So let's see. I got 6 more to spend. Yeah. Okay, so the Confederates are going to start. They're going to pull a leader and a 1, and they get Price's promotion. So Price can. Well, that's interesting. I wonder why the other one said it had an activate on there. So Price can move more. And how many strength points are in there? Only 2. He's got 2. Let's see, how many Trans-Mississippi? 2 Trans-Mississippi, 1 discretionary. And we have 0 Trans-Mississippi, but we're going to use a discretionary. And we are going to put it there in Fayetteville. And we're going to spend 2 Trans-Mississippi command points. 1, 2. And move it up just outside of Springfield. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to spend 2 more. We're going to spend 1 more in the Army of Mississippi strength point. That leaves us with 2 command points. And our Jackson. Two. Oh, I see Foot's in Baltimore, so He's going to have to be moved. You're going to spend 2 East command points. 1 to move these strength points here. 1 from Fredericksburg to here. Because one of the things that I had been eyeing was that I may have been able to cut the Confederate supplies if I just simply moved into this hex. And I probably should have done that earlier. But I didn't. So that's 7, so now we roll for initiative again. Union rolls an 8. Confederacy rolls a 6. That's a difference of 2. Union still has the initiative. And the Union is going to spend 2 discretionary command points in order to rally the troops at island number 10. Oh, whoops. Grant. I don't know why I always forget about leader loss. I did it again. Combat charts. Leader loss. And Grant is a 2-star. So 3 or 4 is bad news. And he rolls a 9, so he's okay. But I don't think that he is eligible for promotion this turn. I think that will come next turn as he begins his journey down the Mississippi. So we roll for initiative. Union has 3. Let me see. Oh, the Confederacy still has 2 that they need to spend. Because I got sidetracked. So now that the Union is effectively bottled up in Maryland, may have to call over General Halleck to take over. No, I'm not. I'm not that crazy. Let's see, Longstreet. 3. So they're going to take 2 strength points, 2 East strength points, and reinforce the Army of Northern Virginia. And command points. Okay, build an army is 2. So initiative. Union rolls Snake Eyes. The Confederacy rolls a 10. It's a dice difference of 8. And the Confederacy gets the initiative. So the Confederates are pretty powerless in the Trans-Mississippi at the moment. In the West, they could build up. So the Army Eastern Strength Points 1, 2, 3. We're going to build that up. 1, 2, 3. And then Eastern Command Points. We're going to activate. Oops. Didn't mean to flip that. We're going to activate, move out of Washington, and attack McDowell again. So this is 10 strength points to 5, so that's a 2 to 1. No strategic advantageous terrain. Combat charts. So we're at 2 to 1. +3, +1 for Stewart, +2 for Jackson, and then McDowell gives them a +1, so that's +4. And the Union is in real trouble here. So the attacker, the Confederates, at 2 to 1, they roll a 1, which translates to a 5, which is a D2 because they are a large force. Whereas the Union rolls a 2. D2 rolls a 2. They are a medium force and they do not do any damage. So, decrease, and they retreat northwards and are demoralized. So, leader loss. McDowell, 6, no. Stewart, a 1-star. 7, no. Jackson, a 1-star. 6. He's a 1-star, right? Yeah. He's just a brigadier general. 6, no. Beauregard, 8, no. So they all survive. Stewart and Jackson go in for promotion if Jackson. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't put. I thought I had put Jackson's promotion in. So Confederate 2-star leaders. So there's Jackson. And cavalry leaders. 2-star. Now they have 2 left to spend. And they have 2 discretionaries. So they're going to use that to move 2 strength points into Washington, just to keep the Union from marching in. So now it goes over to the Union to spend their 8. And immediately, McDowell has to spend 3 in order to get rid of the demoralization. So that's 3. We're going to spend, let's see, man point cost. Leader. So you're going to spend their 2 naval command points to put their river transports into Cairo. So that's 5. Then let's see. They're going to spend 3. The remaining 3 McDowell is at his activation limit there. So that's it for the Union. So we once again roll for initiative. Union gets 6, and the Confederates get 6. So this is what the Confederates were hoping for. This is the first tie. And the command points, the Union gets 63213. So 6, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 1, 63213. And the Confederates are east. They get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 1. And no naval command points. So again, we roll for initiative. The Union gets an 11. The Confederacy gets an 8. It's a dice difference of 3. So the Union is going to pull a free leader. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is going to go into Chambersburg. And they roll a 1, 2, 3. So that's Porter. So they're going to pull another leader. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They get a 4. And Sherman finally arrives, although as a brigadier, he's really not all that great. But he's going to be needed. We've got to get him into battle. So we have 2 strength points left. Um, or 2 command points left that we have to spend, not strength points. Um, okay, so Foot is going to move to Philadelphia to take command of the fleet. And that's 1 command point. And we are going to spend 2 more command points and create the Army of the Potomac, which is something that the Union really needs because they need to be able to react instead of just sitting there and getting uh, the piss knocked out of them. So, that is 1, 2, 3. So that's that. Um, Now, McDowell is actually sitting in a decent position terrain wise because Beauregard will have to pass through a gap in order to get to him. This will not necessarily be the Battle of Antietam because I think Sharpsburg is actually somewhere in this hex. But it'll be nearby. I don't think that we really want to do that. So we have 3. Let's close that. 1, 2, 3. So before I forget again, Price now has 4 strength points to Lyons. 2. And we want to make the attack so that I don't forget again this time. It is at 2 to 1. Except this time Price has a medium-sized force. So, reduce the command points. It is 2 to 1. No terrain modifiers. Combat charts. Results table. Let's move this over here. Move this in here. So the Confederates who get no die modifier, they roll a 2, 2 to 1. They are a medium-sized force, and they do a D1 to Lyon. And Lyon, in turn, as a small force, gets a 4 plus 2 is 6, and they just demoralize. That's 1. 1, 6. And let's put the demoralization markers down. Um, but that is a huge victory for the Confederacy because it is, while Missouri is still friendly territory to the Union, it is beginning to disrupt things. It is starting to wear the victory points down. Um, because if I can get the victory points low enough, the fact that the Confederates are holding Washington could end the game. Not sure what this is, but so there's the 3. So now we roll again for initiative. And the Union rolls an 8. Confederacy rolls a 4. Dice difference is 4. Union still holds the initiative. Um, they're going to take their free. Actually, they're going to take their free leader and promote Lion. Actually, hang on, I did it again. Let's see, Lion in the battle. 8, Price in the battle. 7, so they're fine. But now we're going to promote Lion. And he may have to head back to Rolla. But since Price is on the move now, going to take a Trans-Mississippi strength point and put it in Jefferson City. Not that one strength point will be able to slow the Sterling Price juggernaut down. So that was our freebie. We got 4 to spend. We're going to spend 2. No, Sherman can't move that many. Really? There's 9 there? How did 9 get there? I think it was supposed to be 3. Oh, I bet you what I did. 1, 2, 3, or 8. Yeah, that's what I did. I pressed the wrong key. Okay, so clone. So Sherman's going to take his 2 and head into the Army of the Potomac. So there's 2, and I got 2 left to spend. Porter. Admiral Porter, 2121. There it is, 22. Porter is going to move to Cairo along with Farragut. So there's the other 2. So that's we'll use a discretionary. As we are preparing to for the naval forces to move down the Mississippi. Actually, on second thought, we're going to take Porter and move him over to Philadelphia. So now the Confederates get to make their move. Eight. So we have 4. So let me take this out. Clone. No. Undo. Clone. And flip that over. And this is to show that the Confederates control Washington. They control the rail line there. And Longstreet, Eastern Command points, 3. It's going to take the long ride to Washington and take command there. So there's 3. We got 1 more we got to spend. And what can we do for 1 command point? Move 1 SP, a naval SP, or a leader. So one SP. Do we have 1 SP that we want to move? Or I suppose that we could enter 1. Enter 1 into, oh, I forgot about that. Enter 1 into Memphis. Yes. Okay, so initiative. Union rolls a 9. Confederacy rolls a 6. Dice difference of 3. And Union maintains initiative. Oh, let me cut down the Confederate rail capacity. So with a dice difference of 3, I'm wanting to get another strength point into the Army of the Potomac. And I want to get take this. Clone. Oh, dang it. I hate it when I do that. I want to take this and clone it. Move it up there. Put Longstreet back. So I want to take Thomas. There's a west command point. And I want to move him by rail. So I want to get him, I want to get Thomas all the way over here to Chambersburg. So he can join up with the Army of the Potomac. Here's one. And we will spend 2 more to increase the size of the Army of the Potomac. Meanwhile, let's see, Eastern Command points. Longstreet is going to take the time to fortify Washington. Against counterattack. So again, initiative, Union rolls a 6, Confederacy rolls an 8. It's a dice difference of 2. And the Confederates have the initiative. Now I've got to undemoralize that force. Well, there's nothing that can be done in the Trans-Mississippi because the Confederates have no. Well, they can add to that. So they're going to do. They are going to draw a leader. Excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4 to go into Nashville, and it is E.K. Smith. There's 1. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are going to spend a strength point and put it in Richmond. So there's their 2. The Union, I don't think, has any leaders left in their pool. And they are going to take 2 Trans-Mississippi points. Put them in Jefferson City. Now we roll for initiative again. 9 for the Union, 11 for the Confederates. Again, a difference of 2. They will pull a leader to put into Richmond. So 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You roll over. So it's Pemberton. It goes into Richmond. So we still have 2 that we need to spend. Still 1 Eastern strength point. They will spend it. Put it in Staunton. And we will continue to build the Army of Mississippi. Now for the Union, Georgia militia been called out? No, they have not. Take that. One strength point. And Pope. And foot. We are going to head south to Fort Pulaski. Unmanned fortress. Rolls a 5. Now that could be trouble. Which one am I looking for? What am I looking for? Combat charge. Naval combat results. Unmanned fort 5 is no effect. So they successfully run Fort Pulaski and landed Savannah, which has is clear. So we're fighting at 0. And we have a +1 from foot. Actually, it's 2 to 1 because this counts as 1. 1, 2 with a +1. The unit gets a 5. Combat results table, 2 to 1. They roll a 4. +1 is 5. And they do, they're a small force, they do a D1. And the defending force gets a 3. It's the attacking force, and they do nothing. So the Union successfully lands at Savannah, taking that port. Savannah. So that reduces 1, 2, 3. Or that increases the Union victory points by 3. And reduces the port capacity down to 37. I wish that there was a militia. So we're going to take this and just for giggles, hopefully it will help me remember. that the port capacity is at 37. Nice. Nice that it just kind of offsets itself. So hopefully I will remember that. So that's the 2. And the Georgia militia is immediately called out. To Milledgeville. So initiative again. Union rolls a 6. Confederacy rolls a 7. Dice difference of 1. They have I'm going to refrain from putting any strength points in Memphis currently. I mean, I need to get 3 strength points or 3 command points to undemoralize the force and 3 to build a fort there. They can't do it all at the moment. We're going to do our freebie, Confederate, point of 1. We'll put it in Corinth. And we'll put another strength point of 1 in Nashville, but we'll not make it part of the army. So now, one, two. Clone. Control S. Okay, so we put another strength point in Cairo. Initiative. Union rolls a 4. Confederacy rolls a 7. So it's a dice difference of 3. Looking at the command points, really all that they can do well, there's the 3 that I need for Polk to activate and rally his force. Oh, and they get the free strength point, which hindsight I'm going to put in there. And the Union. Oh, I didn't spend the naval command points. So in the Trans-Mississippi, Lyon is going to rally his force. That's 2. And they're going to spend 1. Oops. 1, 2. To get Lyon more troops. that is. 1, 2, 3. So that's the 3. So again, initiative. 6 for the Union, 9 for the Confederacy. Again, 3. They have 1 strength point and 1 discretionary strength point. And that is it. Does anybody need rallied? So here's something that I haven't run across in the rules, or at least that I remember. Now that the transports have done their job, do they just stay in this hex until the next turn, or do they return? I'm sure that they just stay there till it activated and moved. Let's see. So we're going to put a strength point into Richmond. And a strength point into the Army of Mississippi. Let's see, what can Union has a lot of command points left. One, two, three, 4. So they're going to spend 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has not been. So we'll keep him back here. One, 2. And we'll spend a discretionary strength point here. So that's 3. So initiative again. Again, the Confederates are out. So that's 7 for the Union, 5 for the Confederates. So all that's left, so Banks, we'll put one in New Albany. Oops. So AA. So S. Then we will put 2 there. 7 and 5. No, we'll put 1 there. S. Then roll for initiative. Got to get a leader into Baltimore. 12 and 9, so 3. So this time we will now put the 5th point there. We have 3 Eastern Command points. Let's see. So we're going to spend 3 Eastern. One, 2, 3, 4. And we'll put him in charge at Baltimore. We have 1 West and 1 Trans-Mississippi left. 1, 2, 3, but we need to roll initiative first. Union 10, Confederacy 3, so that's a difference of 7, and this will conclude the turn. Oh, I also have 1 naval command point. West, 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 west. Let's see. Control C. Decrease. 1, 2, 3. S and a Trans-Mississippi. Command point. We are going to go down and reinforce Lion as quickly as we can. And then finally, naval. We're going to take 1 transport. 1, 2. And we're going to bring it in line with Grant on the Kentucky border. And that is that. That is the end of the turn. Table use goes up by 2. Oh, there's port capacity. S 37. Okay. I see that now. So we can get rid of that. Maybe. Delete. So, as it stands, the Confederacy is winning on some fronts. They have pushed Lyon out of Springfield. And let's check this. So that's 1. 1 and 5 should be 6. So yes, 6. But still, holding Washington is not doing them any good because the Union's Congress and the government have all fled to Philadelphia, maybe New York. But the Union is not giving up. Next turn, Kentucky comes into play. Um, this turn, Beauregard has been beating the snot out of McDowell. So the Union has got to make it a priority to replace him with somebody. I mean, they could replace him with Rosecrans, they could replace him with McClellan, but those two are about equal to each other. But they need to do something. Banks. And where is Burnside? Is Burnside in Cairo? Burnside is really not that bad, especially when you comparing to Sigel. But Kentucky's wide open, so the campaign for Forts Henry and Donaldson will begin. I've got to get Grant back on the east side of the Mississippi so he can start pushing down towards Memphis. So I think things are going to be getting interesting. 1861, 1862, the Confederacy had a tendency to defeat the Union no matter where they turned, but the Union also did score some victories. So I don't think I made any mistakes. I think the only possible mistake I could have made was on the amphibious landing. I did remember leader loss rolls, even if they were sometimes a little late. So, anyway, we're heading into the winter of 1861, 1862, November 1861 to February 1862. Robert E. Lee is going to be showing up here sometime, turn 4. So he'll show up in the spring of 1862. But with him, we might be able to do something a little different since Beauregard is having so much success. So, anyway, if you like what you see and hear, like and subscribe. Until the next time, as we head into 1862, take care, everyone. Okay, so I was looking this over after I got the turn finished last night, and the last several pulses of the turn, I was saying that the Confederates didn't have anything, and I completely forgot that they still have 2 leaders in the leader pool. So I'm going to quickly put them in. It's not going to affect anything because they still had no command points available. So we have D.H. Hill and Earl Van Dorn available. And Van Dorn is a great general who can get his forces moving quickly and on the cheap. But when it comes to Army command, he sucks. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a 1, 2, 3 and a 4, 5, 6. And we're going to put one of these leaders into Little Rock, and we're hoping it's going to be Van Dorn because we want to put him in a place that he can't be so dangerous. So we roll a 4, so Van Dorn goes into Little Rock. Now, as for D.H. Hill, Hardy, E.K. Smith, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to put him with Albert Sidney Johnston with the Army of Mississippi. And that's pretty much it. I don't think I missed anything else, but I just needed to take care of those two things.